Hey, you're right. One thing we want to do within STEP is get you to understand the political system. And the reason behind that is because what we want to do is get you to understand where decisions are made and how they impact upon you. So you're ready in your future life to be able to have your own way of influencing this. In year 8, what we've learned about is pressure groups and different types of protests. We now want to move on to what's called active citizenship, understanding how decisions are made within school, how you can influence those decisions, and the electoral process that we have for year councils and also presidential elections. That's going to be the focus today. Now, real mastery of the UK political system is to understand these words. There are 15 words on this table. And real understanding is your capacity to be able to give a couple of sentences on each, perhaps an example to support it. So what I want you to do as your first exercise is consider these 15 and pick out the 3 that you're most comfortable with and the 3 you're least comfortable with. Okay? And get yourself prepared that you'll be able to discuss it in class. You have 4 minutes, that's 240 seconds, starting now. Okay. In any institution, whether it be government, businesses, or schools, there's ways in which ideas are implemented and money is spent. So what we've got to understand is how people are consulted in this process. If we look at our own political system, we can see that citizens have an opportunity to get involved through voting. So they vote for their MP, their MP goes to Parliament, and Parliament's the place where ideas are then made into laws and implemented by the government. Also, Parliament decides how money is going to be spent, and the government does this process. Okay, and now the government does it spends its money in the NHS and various other things which impact upon the citizens. There's almost like a circle by which things work. This should be also the case in other institutions such as schools. So this half term is about participation and representation. We're looking at how we find out about making changes to the school, what's going to be practical, what's going to be effective, and how you can get involved in that process. One way I've looked so far is by doing student surveys. You just done one on behaviour within school. It gives us an idea about how we can improve, it gives us a range of evidence, and sometimes it also gives us a different idea than the things we hadn't been expecting that we can look to develop further. Your tutor is now going to put on a video which shows what the impact of that survey has been, what the information you've given it is, and also the next survey that we want you to do. That'll happen now. Okay, there's more than one way of consulting. Surveys give us information in terms of statistics, but sometimes we need a little bit more information than that. And we would like your STEP group also to be a means by which you consider and discuss what could be changed. The way that would work is that you would choose a couple of tutor representatives who would then go forward to the year council. The year council will then go and feed their ideas into the wider school students council, which works from year 8 through to year 13. And they will come up with some solutions and suggestions that we would take to our senior leadership team, which is led by the head teacher. To show this in a diagram, you can see there the year councils working at their level to come up with the issues and the problems that they feel exist within the school, feeding those onto the wider student council, coming up with the solutions and suggestions, and as I've said there, they then feed into the senior leadership team, who will look at those ideas and see how practical they are and whether or not we can really make that impact within school. So the next step is to consider what else we can be doing. So within your STEP discussion now, I want you to consider that maybe some of the things that I have on the board there. There are 6 of them, but you may have other ideas, things you'd like to see change within the school. You have 3 minutes on this, that's 180 seconds, starting now. Okay, next step is to consider who's going to be your class representative. We need 2 tutor representatives from each tutor group. First thing you should do is always think about what qualities does it take to be a good representative. I want you to have that discussion for the next 2 minutes. What are the 4 qualities that are important for any representative of other people? 2 minutes, 120 seconds, starting now. Maybe you got these. Here's a list of 8, okay, which show you the different qualities that really could be important to a person if they're going to represent other people. What I'm interested in now is which do you think are the top 3. Personally, which when you look at that, you think those are the 3 that really work for me. You have 1 minute to consider this. That's 60 seconds. And then we can have a discussion. Go. Okay. Next week is elections week. That means people get to vote for people who are going to represent them. You'll vote for those people who are going to be your tutor representatives, but you'll also vote for those people who are going to be the sixth form president. Now, in democracies, this is done through a secret ballot, which means one person votes without anyone else knowing their choice. This is important, of course, because it allows people to feel safe in that decision. All right, and they're not going to be pressurized into being forced by other people to vote a particular way. People vote in a voting booth, and they also use a ballot paper to make their choice. That's what it's called. And on that ballot paper, you would put your first preference with a number 1 and your second preference with a number 2. And that allows us to understand where the general view or opinion of the school is in regards to the election result. So, your tutor is now going to put on some videos. These are videos of sixth form candidates who want to be the president and have their name on the main hall. When you watch the videos, consider what you thought were important for being a representative, okay? And see which ones really work for you. Okay, good luck with that.